Listen carefully. This is not romance talk. This is not bitterness. This is awareness. This is about pattern recognition. Because the most dangerous control doesn't come with threats or shouting. It comes with rewards. And when a woman rewards you only after distance, only after you pull back, only after you suffer silence or confusion, she is not reconnecting with you. She is conditioning you. Training does not require force. Training requires timing, and timing is everything. A man must understand this clearly, or he will live inside a loop he doesn't even realize exists. A loop where he feels relief instead of respect. A loop where he mistakes calm for connection. A loop where he chases peace instead of standing in power. This is how it starts. She pulls away. She goes cold. Messages slow down. Energy drops. Attention disappears. You feel the tension. You feel the gap. You feel the absence. And your mind starts working overtime. What did I do? What changed? How do I fix this? Then you pull back too. Maybe intentionally. Maybe out of exhaustion. Maybe because you finally stopped chasing. And suddenly she returns. Warm. Sweet. Affectionate. Interested again. She laughs more. She touches more. She rewards you with what you wanted all along. And your nervous system relaxes. That relief is the hook. Because your body learns something in that moment. It learns that distance earns reward. It learns that withholding yourself brings affection. It learns that tension precedes comfort. And once the body learns that pattern, it will tolerate confusion just to reach the reward again. That is not love. That is conditioning. This is how training works. Create discomfort. Remove comfort. Let tension build. Then provide relief. The relief feels stronger because of the discomfort that came before it. The reward feels more valuable because it was delayed. And here's the dangerous part. The reward does not need to be large. It just needs to be timed correctly. A little affection after a lot of distance feels massive. A little warmth after emotional cold feels intoxicating. A small sign of interest after silence feels like victory. That's how men get trained. A man who doesn't see this starts to associate pain with progress. He starts to believe that suffering is part of connection. He starts to accept instability as normal. And once instability feels normal, peace feels boring. That's when the game is over, because now she doesn't have to give consistently. She just has to give occasionally. She doesn't have to show up fully. She just has to show up after withdrawal. And every time she does, your brain lights up. Dopamine spikes. Relief floods in. You feel chosen again. That chemical response is powerful. It overrides logic. It overrides pride. It overrides memory. You forget the silence. You forget the confusion. You forget how small you felt. All you feel is the reward. And you chase that feeling again. Men don't get trapped because they're weak. They get trapped because they're human. The nervous system doesn't care about dignity. It cares about relief. But a man who understands this doesn't confuse relief with respect. Respect is stable. Respect doesn't disappear to be re-earned. Respect doesn't need absence to feel strong. Respect doesn't play with your nervous system. Training does. When she rewards you after distance, she is teaching you what behavior gets her attention. She is teaching you that consistency is not the path. Presence is not the path. Directness is not the path. Distance is the currency. And once distance becomes currency, you will start using it even when you don't want to. You'll pull away not from strength, but from hope. You'll go silent not because you're grounded, but because you're waiting for the reward. That's not masculine detachment. That's conditioned withdrawal. A grounded man pulls back because he chooses to. A trained man pulls back because he's waiting. Big difference that a man in control does not wait for rewards. He evaluates behavior. He notices patterns. He makes decisions based on consistency, not spikes. Here's what most men miss. Real affection does not arrive as a reaction. It arrives as a presence. When someone only gives after you leave, they are not meeting you. They are managing you. And management is not desire. When a woman truly respects you, she does not need to withdraw to maintain interest. She does not need to create emotional famine to make affection feel valuable. She does not ration warmth. She does not turn connection into a lever. Those tactics are not attraction. They are control mechanisms. And control mechanisms always reveal insecurity at the source. A woman who feels safe with herself does not need to test you repeatedly. A woman who feels grounded does not need to pull away to see if you'll come back. A woman who respects your presence does not punish it with absence. So when distance becomes part of the cycle, you must stop asking how to respond and start asking why you're still there. Because here's the truth. If you accept being trained once, it becomes easier the second time, and the third time, and soon the cycle tightens. The distance lasts longer. The rewards get smaller. The confusion grows, and your standards quietly disappear. Men don't lose themselves overnight. They lose themselves one compromise at a time. You start saying things like, that's just how she is, or it's not that serious, or at least she came back. Those are not rationalizations. Those are survival strategies inside an unstable dynamic. A man with self-respect does not survive relationships. He evaluates them. Ask yourself this. If a job only paid you after you quit, would you call that a career? Or manipulation? If loyalty is rewarded only after withdrawal, then loyalty is not valued. It's exploited. Here's where discipline comes in. The moment you notice a pattern where affection follows distance, you must interrupt the loop. Not with anger, not with confrontation, with consistency. You do not reward inconsistency with access. If she disappears, you don't chase. But you also don't celebrate her return. You observe it. You assess it. You check whether behavior actually changes or just resets temporarily. Because temporary warmth is not growth. It's a reset button. And men who mistake resets for change end up stuck in the same place for years. The strongest position a man can take is calm indifference to manipulation. Not coldness, not cruelty. Indifference. You don't argue with patterns. You respond to them with boundaries. If affection requires absence, you remove yourself permanently. Because you are not a dog to be trained with treats. And that's the core of this message. A man who allows himself to be trained gives up his authority. He stops leading his own emotional life. He becomes reactive. A reactive man is easy to control. A centered man is not. A centered man does not get excited by sudden affection. He asks, why now? He doesn't punish silence with distance, hoping for reward. He doesn't play the game that he exits the arena. Because real connection does not require strategy. It requires alignment. And alignment does not fluctuate wildly. If you want to protect your mind, your dignity, and your future, you must stop romanticizing inconsistency. Stop calling tension chemistry. Stop calling withdrawal mystery. Stop calling rewards love. Love does not need conditioning. Now hear this clearly. If this message hit something inside you, it's because you felt that relief before. That warm rush after distance. That sense of being chosen again. And now you know why it felt so powerful. Awareness breaks the spell. From this moment forward, you move differently. You don't chase relief. You don't accept training. You don't mistake rewards for respect. You become a man who doesn't need to be managed because he manages himself. And before you go, understand this. This channel exists for men who refuse to be conditioned, confused, or controlled. If you want more truth like this, more mental clarity, more discipline, then act accordingly. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you stay sharp and ahead of the game. This isn't entertainment. This is awareness. Stay grounded. Stay sovereign. And never forget, if she rewards you after distance, she is training you.